Hello, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. I hope you're well. Thank you very much for being here. I'm Jen with Timeline Tarot, and this is your tarot card for the week of March 15th, 2026. It is a collective general reading, so as the messages come through today, take what fits, leave what doesn't, because if it's not your message, it simply means it is meant for someone else. And check out your other placements. If you don't know what they are, in the description box is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. Also, keep in mind, this is not what you don't see coming for the week ahead. The tarot card of the week reading is intended to give you something to think about or a question to ponder, so you can make a decision that is best for your life at this time. With all of that said, now let's begin. Tapping into the Sagittarius collective now, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. What is the tarot card of the week for the Sagittarius collective for the week of March 15th, 2026? Let's get one more shuffle here for you. Thank you. Okay. You have the Death card. What situation in your life is transforming and changing to bring about something new? And at the bottom of the deck, you have Nine of Swords. What situation in your life is creating fear and anxiety? And what is that feeling trying to tell you? Okay. Why is the Death card the tarot card of the week here for the Sagittarius collective? What situation in your life is transforming and changing to bring about something new? For Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. Please clarify that further for Sagittarius. One more shuffle here. Thank you. You have the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Devil, you have the Strength, and you have the Three of Swords. At the bottom of the deck, you have Ace of Swords, you have Ten of Wands, and you have the Six of Swords. That leaves the Nine of Swords, the Fool, and the King of Wands here at the bottom of the deck. Tell me why the Ten of Pentacles is here for the Sagittarius collective. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Ten of Pentacles is clarified by the Four of Cups, the High Priestess, and the Queen of Pentacles. Why is the Devil card here? One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Devil is clarified by the Hermit, Judgment, and the Five of Cups. Why is the Three of Swords here? One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Three of Swords is clarified by the Four of Wands, the Knight of Wands, and the Ace of Wands. Bottom of that, Queen of Cups. What is this Ten of Wands here? Why is the Ten of Wands here? One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Ten of Wands is clarified by the Nine of Wands, the King of Swords, and the Six of Pentacles. At the bottom of the deck, you have the Seven of Swords. I don't know if this is occurring internally to you or externally. So for some of you, this is a shadow aspect of yourself that you either have just recognized or you're about to recognize with that Hermit energy. So let's say this is internal to you. This would be a Sagittarius or Sagittarius placement that is realizing I'm consuming something that is bad for my health. Cigarettes, overindulging in alcohol, too many sweets, high cholesterol food, and it's time for me to make a change. It's time for me to put an end to that toxic eating pattern, or again, whatever this is that you're, for some of you, there's an overconsumption here that's taking place, and it's looking within and saying, okay, the reason why I'm overindulging is because of this particular wound. I'm trying to numb this wound by doing blank, by, again, gambling. And I'm not saying gambling is bad or smoking cigarettes is bad. It's not for me to judge how many alcoholic beverages you should have a day or what your caloric intake should be. This is you looking within and saying, the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm trying to soothe this wound. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense for someone watching. And so it's not just looking at the toxic pattern within yourself. It's saying, the reason why I'm doing that, there's something deeper here. Judgment to the Hermit. Oh, I'm doing it because that's still a wound that I haven't addressed or I haven't fully healed. So for some of you, there's an internal realization happening. For others of you, it is an internal realization, but it's because you are engaging with another person. And the realization here is this is a very toxic or codependent connection. Or I am attached to someone or attracted to someone who has some deep-seated shadow trait within themselves that they're not healing or refusing to heal. So for some of you, it's internal. For others of you, you're noticing the shadow side within someone else who's like external to you. So it could be internal, could be external. You either just had this realization or you're going to be having it soon. I'll try to get timing here for you. But it's either a pattern that you're looking within yourself and you're like, oh my God, Ten of Pentacles. I've been operating from, from this place, from this wound, this unhealed wound, right? And I've been engaging in this activity because of that unhealed wound for like up to 10 years or 10 plus years. Or I've been engaging with this person for up to 10 years or 10 plus years. Again, you're just recognizing now the shadow aspect within them. So the Four of Cups, the High Priestess, and the Queen of Pentacles, whether it's internal or external to you, you're not happy. And that's what's giving you this moment of, I need to go within and figure out why I am engaging with this. Why am I overindulging with the situation, environment, or connection? And where's that coming from? What wound within me is that coming from? Why am I staying attached to this person who's so unhealthy for me? Or again, why am I overindulging or even overspending? What wound is that trying to cover up? So it takes a lot of strength and courage to look within. It's one thing to recognize the shadow, the devil, in someone else. But then we have to look at, well, why am I attracted to you then? Why am I attached to you? Why do I want to be friends with someone who has that shadow aspect, is doing absolutely nothing about it, and it's negatively impacting me, right? It's putting me in the Four of Cups. So whether you're recognizing it within someone else or within yourself, there's a layer deeper we have to go here that says, well, not that what's wrong with me, what's wounded within me. A lot of people look at wounds as they don't want to acknowledge that they have a wound because they think that automatically means there's something wrong with them. No, there's nothing wrong with you, Sagittarius. We all have wounds. And those of us that are striving to be better, striving to grow, striving to become more enlightened, take a good, honest look at those wounds. And I think that's what you're doing here. I think that's what this death card is. This is transformational in the sense of I'm going within and I'm recognizing a shadow aspect in myself or someone else. But more importantly, why am I attached to that shadow aspect? What is drawing me to it? Three of Swords is clarified by the Four of Wands, the Knight of Wands, and the Ace of Wands. I think there was a feeling here of I can continue to indulge in this and it'll make me happy, but they're momentary lapses of happiness. I'll give you a quick example. I have a friend who collects items. He has a wide variety of movie prop collection from all different TV shows and Tiger King and you name it, all these horror movies and all of this stuff. They're quick fixes for him. They're quick fixes because there's something inside of him that is a wound that he's not healing. He just continues to put the Band-Aid on. So he gets these intermittent bursts of action, passion, excitement, stability. But underneath, that Three of Swords is not fully healed. The consumption of those items is nothing more than a Band-Aid, right? It's just glossing over the pain for a brief stretch of time. And then he's back to feeling that Three of Swords because the shadow aspect hasn't been healed. I have another friend who continues to go back to the same person who cheats on her, uses her for her money, uses her for her body. She will continually go back to him. And finally I said to her, and she's not a Sagittarius, she's a Virgo, but finally I said to her, instead of, because she keeps going, well, there's something wrong with him. There's something wrong with him. Okay, everybody knows, everyone who knows him knows there's something wrong with him, right? There's a shadow aspect within him, and he's refusing to heal it. But I said to her, what's the shadow aspect within you that keeps drawing you back to him? And she was like, oh, I know we all agree. We all agree with you that he's operating from a very low vibrational, place. But what is happening within you that you're being drawn to it? That's the wound you need to heal. Once you heal that wound, you're not going to be drawn to that anymore. He's a fix for your wound. Once we kind of like sat down and explained it to her that way, she was like, holy shit. So I think that's what's happening here. I think you're realizing your connection to something internal or external to you is all happening because of a shadow aspect within you. So here goes your healing journey if you're willing to do the work. Source is saying we got to take a look at the wound. What keeps drawing you back to this unhealthy cycle or person or pattern? So once you get that moment of clarity and you're like, oh my God, I now see it. There's going to be some work involved, right? The Ten of Wands talks about putting in the effort, but you will be able, Six of Swords, to move on from the wound. You will be able to like officially heal this wound. The Nine of Wands, the King of Swords, and the Six of Pentacles. This is not something that you have to work on 24 hours a day. As long as you stay laser focused that I am only indulging in this or connecting with this person because of this wound, it's just almost like you'll, I sometimes see the Nine of Wands as a pattern. So it's almost like once you recognize this, it's going to be work moving on, because every time you go to connect, eat that, buy that, engage with that person, you're going to have to pause there. And the Nine of Wands, I'm repeating a pattern. The King of Swords, the Six of Pentacles, like, wait, I'm about to feed that wound again. So I think there's a great opportunity here for you to look at the actual wound within yourself, Sagittarius. Seven of Swords. It's not so much that the food is sabotaging you, the overindulgence is sabotaging you, the person is sabotaging you. This is coming from inside the house. You're sort of sabotaging yourself because you have yet to recognize what is drawing you towards that person or that trait or that pattern within yourself. This is a pretty deep reading here for you, Sagittarius. Anything else Sagittarius needs to know about this, about their own wound? This is a little dark night of the soul. I'm not going to lie to you. The Hermit, the Judgment, the Five of Cups, and the Devil. This is looking at that past wound and saying, oh, that's why I do blank. And dark night of the soul doesn't have to last you, 300 days. And it also doesn't have to be a tormenting experience. I would not be afraid of this. I had something similar occur to me in May. Was it May of 2023? And it only took me a matter of days to recognize it. But again, there's a lot of introspection, there's a lot of sitting in silence and thinking back to every time I did blank, where was that coming from? So it's a little bit of a detective work, right? You're going to have to put on your detective cap here to go deep to figure out why you're doing that. What is that connected to? And then from there on, I'm still healing. It's 2 years later. I'm not going to lie to you. I catch myself every single time I go to overindulge on that one thing. I'm like, okay, this is coming from that wound, but at least now I recognize it. So I'm less likely to engage with that again, or engage in that behavior again. Tell me more about that wound here for Sagittarius. Okay, you clearly want to be seen, so we're going to take you. Justice, the Two of Swords. Something was not fair. Something was not just. And it left a wound in you. You were treated unfairly, unkindly at some point in your life, and you overindulge in something to still numb that pain. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Oh, and the Seven of Swords came out. That's exactly what it is. Bottom of the deck, you have the Three of Wands. So at some point in your life, okay, this is going to go deep now. At some point in your life, for some of you, it goes back to between you being 2 to 7 years old. I know, that's crazy. I'm just telling you what's here. There's something like this that has occurred. It wounded you. It was unfair. It was unjust. Someone did or said something to you that was unkind. The wound has never been healed. I don't even know if you're connecting the dots here. Something someone said to you, most likely in childhood, is making you overindulge in something to numb that pain. For some of you, if it's not childhood, it could just be, I'm getting like teenage years for some reason, but there's a group of you 2 to 7 years old, and for others of you, there's like a preteen thing here. Something occurred, it left you wounded. Now, this doesn't have to be something huge. I'm not talking about sexual abuse or physical abuse. It could be for some of you. It doesn't have to be for all of you. Someone could have said something that totally damaged your self-esteem, your self-worth. It plays on repeat in the Nine of Swords, in the subconscious of your brain. You don't even realize that you keep engaging with love partners. It's like you're, I don't want to say you're chasing. You're looking for validation in all the wrong places. Maybe the person is a lot like your mother, is a lot like your father, is a lot like the person who said this. This is almost like getting that person to say, hey, I was wrong when I told you you were unlovable, or you weren't pretty, or you weren't handsome, because now you're getting it from this external source. But that's a toxic addiction within you, that you need to get that validation from this person because you didn't get it from this person. So it's healing that wound. So then you don't need to go to an external source to tell you you're handsome or you're pretty or you're smart or you're beautiful. It could be something like that. I feel like it was words. Now, yes, for some of you, it could have been very abusive words. But I feel like something was said to you at some point in time that made you feel like you were not good enough, or you were not worthy, or again, handsome, pretty, smart enough, something like that. Someone damaged your self-esteem. And you are engaging in a toxic pattern that's really just a Band-Aid to mask the pain that you never addressed. And for some of you, you're engaging with someone who's a lot like that person, and you don't realize it. That subconsciously, that's the inner child in you trying to receive the validation from that past person that you never received. You're now engaging with someone who's a lot like them. Anything else we need to know about your path forward? And then we'll get you 3 cards of advice. I believe yours is the longest reading. I apologize. I try to keep these at the 10-minute mark, but this is quite profound, quite deep here. Anything else about the journey moving forward once the wound is seen? The recognition is there. One more shuffle here. Thank you. You have the 9 of Cups, you have the 7 of Cups, and you have the 7 of Pentacles, bottom of the deck, the World card. That toxic pattern within you will be done and over with. And what you find then, what you have then, is true peace and true contentment. And you're no longer engaging in situations, environments, connections, or even patterns or habits that derive from that wound. There'll be other connections that you engage with that may or may not be good for you, or other patterns you may, pick up, or habits you may pick up along the way. But you engaging in something internal or external to you to numb that pain, that is done, gone, and over with in the World card. So you will be making better decisions for yourself moving forward. Let's get you some advice here, my friends. A deep reading. And look, I'm not expecting you to do all of this work within the next week, and neither is Source. What situation in your life is transforming and changing to bring about something new? It's what's transforming and changing? You finally looking within and saying, why am I doing blank? Where is that coming from? That's what's changing. And once you figure out what that is or why that is, yeah, that changes the entire game for you, my love. Judgment changes the entire game here for you. Let's get you 3 cards of advice. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Your advice, 6 of Cups. I'm telling you, it goes back to your past, possibly childhood for some of you. Tower. and the Five of Wands. That's where the conflict comes from. Eight of Cups. Once you can see it, once you can connect those dots, then you're able to walk away from it. You abandon the old wound. You can't make it up. And you're right towards happiness, because then you're aligned. Then you are engaging in things because it's truly aligned, not because it's masking or putting a Band-Aid on an old wound. So take the time this week to go within, or at least begin to go within. Some of you will complete this in the next week. Some of you will need a couple of weeks. That's okay. Take however long you need to do it. But man, does it blow up that wound once you realize where it came from. And once you connect those dots, that changes the game for you, my friend. That is what I have for you for the week ahead. If you like that message, it resonates with you, you want to claim all or part of it, maybe just found it to be helpful, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video if you're able to do that. And until I read for you again, I'm wishing you good luck with this. As always, Sag, I'm sending you light, love, and peace.